What's going on, guys? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. My name is Jonathan Yench, and thank you for tuning in to today's video. Now, a few weeks ago, I posted a video called How to Car Camp. If you're interested in watching that, I'll go ahead and drop the link somewhere up here, and you could go ahead and do that. In this video, I briefly talked about how I made window covers for increased privacy while car camping. And I also mentioned that I might make a video in the future going into more detail on how exactly I made these covers. Today we're going to be doing just that, and I'm going to explain to you how you can make your own car window covers to use for car camping. Now, unfortunately, when I made my own window covers, there were a few things that I slightly messed up, or things that I would just do differently if I were to make them again. So I'll definitely be pointing these out to you as we go. The whole project is relatively cheap and should cost you definitely less than $50. And depending on what materials you already have, it could cost you as little as $20 to $25. So it is really affordable, and it's a very good alternative to paying hundreds of dollars for window tint. Anyways, without further ado, let's just get right into the process of how you can make car window covers for car camping. The first thing you'll need is a roll of Reflectix insulation. This can be found in the insulation department at Home Depot. Make sure to measure your windows first so you can get the correct size roll. Next is some aluminum foil, adhesive spray, the stronger the better, some black fabric, I got this at Walmart, a tape measure, a black Sharpie, some kind of tape, a box cutter or some scissors, and a yardstick. One extra material that you're going to be needing that I completely forgot to get for this project is black spray paint. We'll get a little more into that later on in the video. First, we'll be making templates to use for cutting out the actual window covers. You're going to want to start by measuring your windows. Now we're going to be cutting the aluminum foil to size. Make sure you're adding at least an inch of the actual measurement of the window. You want to have some room to work with. I'm cutting a second piece the same size and taping the two pieces together since the height of my windows is taller than the width of the aluminum foil. You can avoid this step if you find extra wide aluminum foil, which I definitely recommend doing if possible. So this whole step of taping the two different pieces of foil together is extremely burdensome, and I would just like to reiterate the fact that if you can possibly get your hands on the wider width aluminum foil, I believe it's called like grilling foil or something like that, which I wasn't able to do for this video, I would definitely recommend you go with that because it's just gonna make the whole process a lot easier. Now we're basically going to be using the foil to make a mold of the exact shape of the window. Fold in the corners and edges of the aluminum foil and try to get it as close to perfectly fitting as possible. Make sure to keep the foil in the same place when switching from corner to corner. This is what the finished product should look like in the end. Essentially, you're only going to really need to make 3 templates, one for the front set of windows, one for the middle set, and one for the rear set if you have those. Of course, if you're going to be doing a rear trunk window cover as well, you'll be needing to do that also. Now we're going to be cutting out the actual window covers. To make things easier, Cut out pieces of the insulation that are the same length of your windows, but again, make sure to give yourself about an extra inch to work with. Now simply trace your template that you just made onto the insulation with black Sharpie. Cut out the window covers with your scissors. At this point, it should be a pretty perfect fit. Of course, the silver surface will draw attention, so now we'll be adding the fabric to make them more discreet. I would recommend getting at least 5 yards, but you can figure out exactly how much you'll need by first measuring your windows. Cut out a piece of the fabric and trim it down so it mimics the shape of the window. Next, spray the fabric with your adhesive, careful to make sure you're evenly coating all of the edges. Place the window cover on top of the fabric and press down to stick the two materials together. Okay, so before you stick down the window cover onto the actual fabric with adhesive, please make sure that you have the fabric smoothed out nice and neat. If you do stick the window cover on top and there's creases, it's gonna be very obvious from the outside looking in that it's not just tinted windows or something, and rather there's an actual piece of something in the window, and that's just gonna decrease your overall level of discreetness. So make sure to smooth out the fabric before you stick the window cover onto it. Fold the edges onto the back of the insulation and stick them down by applying pressure. I did this pretty messy, but you can do it more neatly if you'd like. If you cut the fabric closer to the size of the window cover, I'm sure it will be less of a mess. If you don't like having this kind of mess on the side of the windows from the fabric being all bunched up and it just looks kind of ugly, I will agree. You could do something like grabbing a wallpaper type material or some other fabric to essentially lay over the back side of the window covers, cut that out to size, and then spray adhesive that down onto the cover. That way it's nice and neat and everything's tucked away and you can have peace of mind. And that's pretty much the process, guys. You're just gonna repeat this on all of the windows. I'm not gonna show you every single window because it's just gonna get repetitive. But essentially you just cut out the template, make sure to do 2 for the front windows, 2 for the middle, 2 for the back, and then you basically apply the fabric and just repeat the process until you have all of the windows complete. Now I do want to just make a couple little notes on things that I would improve upon if I were to do this again. The first being, like I said, you're going to need to use black spray paint, which I did not do in this video, but the reason why you want to spray paint the side that's going to be out in the window is because if you just put the fabric on top of the silver Reflectix, that silver kind of material is really bright and it's gonna bleed through, and this could potentially catch the eye of somebody walking by. Instead, if you spray it with spray paint first to get rid of most of that shine and glimmer, once you put the actual fabric on top, you're not going to be able to see any of the glimmer or glisten at all from the Reflectix material. So make sure to get spray paint and take your time and spray paint the side that you want to black out. And yeah, that's how you guys can make your own window covers for car camping. If you found this video to be helpful anyway, please hit the thumbs up button, maybe even subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future. Anyways, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.